I recently came across a series called Deceit SMP on YouTube. It was like the combination of Last Life and Among Us. Now, as a lover of hidden role games, like Among Us, I was hooked instantly. So let's take a quick look at the game of Deceit SMP. Oh well, hello there. I'm Cactus Platypus. I like to think I'm well versed in the social deduction game category, with years of playing Town of Salem and One Night Werewolf. So when I finished the Deceit SMP series, I couldn't help but give my thoughts on the gameplay mechanics across the game mode. So what is Deceit? Deceit is a game set in a small Minecraft world, the border keeping players closer together than your average SMP. Each player has 2 lives. After their first death, a player will be given their role. This could be Crafter, your stock standard innocent role that just wants to work together. Traitor, the evil role that wants to stop the crafters winning the game. There will be 2 traitors on the server. The Killer is a solo role that only wins if they are the last one left standing. And the Detective, the only role that is publicly known to all players and is on the Crafter team. Our roster of players for the series consists of Tanisha Hogan, Looney MC, Not Brock, Switchback Mongo, Pezcat, Fixit, and Lagundo. Links to their channels in the description. They use the simple roles in small worlds to create epic moments like this one.
I know that you were the one who trapped Tanisha's base.
Uh-oh. Come here, come here.
What?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I don't know what happened there.
Wow, that is not true.
I know. And you know how I know? Because like
How do you-
recognizes like.
Whoa, what's it?
Let's take a minute to talk about the balance of the game mode. In the game, there is a total of 7 players, with their roles being 2 traders, 1 killer, 1 detective, and 3 crafters. This equates to about 47% of the players being evil. This is editing Cactus. Sorry, I misspoke there. I meant to say 43%, not 47%. Back to the video. Normally, this is a bad ratio. The typical Goldilocks zone for a social deduction game is 1 in 4 or 25% of players being evil. But the interesting thing about this series is every player has 2 lives. This effectively doubles the player pool. On your first life, you are effectively a crafter with no win condition. The reason I say craft with no win condition rather than traitor or killer with no win condition is on the first life, the player has no real incentive to go and hunt other players down and stop them winning. So, for the purposes of this, we are going to count first life players as crafters, even though they are neutrals. This changes the balance to 2 traders, 1 killer, 1 detective, and 10 crafters, which results in about 21% of players being evil. Very close to that Goldilocks ratio. Honestly, I'm impressed. That's 1 life off the 1 in 4 zone. 2 life system also allows for many playstyles to emerge. Someone like me, who likes a bit of information and causing chaos, might play recklessly or even purposely die early in order to get that information. Knowing your own role is little, but still valuable information. Other players might try to survive longer and keep that life barrier for safety, but not knowing what team they will be on, they could unintentionally help the opposition. For example, if you're a traitor and don't know till towards the end of the game, you could accidentally help the crafters win. This game has massive replayability, with the possibility of new roles, goals, and ways to play. The detective wasn't even in the first season, so the creators are clearly willing to innovate on the game mode. I have a few ideas for what they could or might do in the future. Now, I would normally suggest a jester role here, but from a content perspective, and looking at this game, a jester or a player who wants to be killed wouldn't really fit. However, a player who needs to acquire a specific item to win could be interesting, especially if it's one of the items the crafters need for their win condition. This could create a lot of chaos and argument over where certain items are. Making the killer appear as a fellow traitor to the traders is an interesting mechanical change they could do. It could also cause some chaos. A traitor within the traitors, if you will. A traitor would still have more information than a crafter when they get their role, but would not know who among their allies they could trust. A new role they could add is the spy. Whispers were often used throughout the series to privately communicate between players. In most social deduction games, a form of traitor chat that allows traders to privately communicate without anyone else seeing is often quite overpowered. The spy would have the ability to see whispers, but not who sent or received them. This nerfs whispers without making them totally useless. If 2 traders have a code, they can keep their information hidden, but if they use names of players or places, the spy might be onto them. The effect could be given to the detective instead, but since the spy wouldn't be a guaranteed crafter, anyone could claim that role. Could be a little overpowered if it was given to the detective. Another idea, cursed items. Throughout the series, players would have to loot crates that contained items needed to complete the crafter's win condition. And they had some pretty good loot as well. Well, what if some of that loot was stronger, but also came with a curse? A bonus rule a player would have to follow in order to use the item. Something like, can only speak in truth, would be a curse that wouldn't totally change how you play, while adding a little bit of flavor. With that in mind, I'm excited to see what the future holds for Deceit. If you enjoyed this video and want me to rant about more hidden role games and their balancing, let me know. Cheers.